9. Mako, America's Body Shop.
Bombshell inside the courtroom. The South Carolina jury and what they revealed a short time ago after a police officer shoots and kills an unarmed black man in the back as he ran away from the scene. What happened inside that jury room? New reporting in the deadly California inferno. At least 36 trapped and killed, and new details right here tonight. What the stairwell inside was made of. How so many were instantly trapped. The punishment tonight, the father who left his boy to die in a hot car. What the judge says to the father in that courtroom, and you'll hear it. The shooting in the family pizza restaurant, the shooter with an AR-15 suddenly firing. Authorities now say he came after reading a fake news story involving the election. And the NFL star, the deadly road rage, what we've now learned about the man who was freed, and the new surveillance video just out.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening on this Monday night, and we begin with the headline breaking this afternoon in that South Carolina courtroom in the case of former police officer Michael Slager. The mistrial now declared after the shooting death of Walter Scott, an unarmed black man who was running from the officer. That video that sent shockwaves, Scott running off after being stopped for a broken taillight, Slager chasing after him and then firing 8 times at his back. ABC's Steve Osunsami is in Charleston.
The court, therefore, must declare a mistrial in this case.
This former police officer, seen in this disturbing cell phone video shooting a black man in the back as he was running away, will go home tonight to the loving arms of his family. The mistrial means he will remain out on bond, but under house arrest.
Until my family can see justice, no, there's no forgiveness.
For the family of Walter Scott and for black Americans who thought that video of the killing would bring justice, they feel the system has failed them again. They're already looking forward to a retrial promised tonight by prosecutors.
It's not over. Y'all hear me? It's not over. So God's sake, it's over.
At least 2 of the jurors, both of them white women, were in tears as the black foreman delivered the news.
The statistics say that the next jury will look a lot like you.
Most of the nearly all-white jury looked like they were in disbelief, but there was one who refused to make eye contact with the judge, the lawyers, or the family of Walter Scott.
Something got to him. I'm sure we'll quickly hear from the rest of the jurors who disagree with him.
A handful of people who came to watch stormed out of the courtroom in disgust. To so many, the crime was clear. Slager fired 8 shots, and when he fired his first bullet, Scott was already 18 feet away. On the witness stand, he explained that he and Scott fought before they were seen in the recording. He says at one point, Scott got a hold of his taser and says in his mind at the time, Scott was a threat.
I fired until the threat was stopped, like I'm trying to do.
Jurors could have picked between manslaughter and murder and couldn't agree on either.
And Steve joins us live tonight. Steve, what kind of timeline are we looking at for a new trial here?
Well, David, Slager first has a federal trial across the street that's scheduled next year. Prosecutors in this case say they plan to work with the federal court, but they absolutely plan to retry this case. As far as protests, there weren't violent protests here when Walter Scott was killed, and Scott's family tonight is begging the streets for that same patience. David.
Steve Osunsami leading us off tonight. Steve, thank you. We also have new reporting here this evening on that deadly inferno in California. The warehouse in Oakland, a fire station just a block away. By the time firefighters arrived, there was little they could do. Now we learn about the exits and the stairwell inside, what the stairs were made of. Did it all contribute to that trap? ABC's Neil Karlinski on the scene tonight, where prosecutors just moments ago said murder charges are now possible.
Tonight, the death toll rising. Investigators searching for the cause of Oakland's deadliest fire in history.
Fire went up really quickly.
It was 11:32 Friday night when the call came in. The warehouse engulfed in flames, packed with a late-night party at this converted artist colony known as the Ghost Ship.
Like seeing everything, like this orange wall of fire, it was, I don't know, it felt like seeing a monster.
Firefighters just a block away, there within 3 minutes, were already too late. Firefighters tell ABC News they believe it started on the first floor in back. But the building was a tinderbox, only 2 exits in all 10,000 square feet. People living in mobile homes inside the first floor. Most of the victims were on the second floor for a concert. Tonight, these new images showing the rickety staircase made of wood pallets leading to the front door, leaving virtually no way out.
You couldn't have more than 2 people on that staircase before it would just fall down. And it was not only dangerous, but it was disgusting.
Officials now conducting a criminal investigation amidst mounting evidence this place fell through the cracks. It had a long history of violations, including people living there illegally. The controversial alleged founder of the so-called ghost ship under a microscope, speaking to ABC station KGO.
They're my children. They're my friends, they're my family, they're my loves, they're my future. What else do I have to say?
Tonight, the long list of those 36 lost, a heartbreaking montage of lives cut short. We found this woman in agony, waiting to hear about a loved one.
Please, can you just call any of us? If you're around, something happened, we don't care. We just want to know if you're alive or not.
And Neil joins us live from the scene tonight, that horrible fire. And Neil, that woman that we just heard from has now received word.
David, that's right. Tragically, she is believed to be among the dead, although she hasn't been officially identified. We should also note the DA here came out just a few moments ago to say that there is a potential criminal case to be made here, ranging from involuntary manslaughter all the way up to murder, depending on what they find, if they find anything. Possible criminal negligence in the handling of this building, all the way up to something intentional. They're looking into it, David.
Neil Karlinski in California. And from Georgia tonight, the punishment for the father convicted of leaving his son in a hot car to die. The judge delivering a stern message with the convicted father right there. ABC's Lindsay Davis with what she said.
As Justin Ross Harris learned his fate today, he stood emotionless, sentenced by a judge who didn't mince any words.
Callously walked away and left that child in a hot car in June in Georgia in the summer to swelter and die.
Harris sentenced to life without parole plus 32 years for the death of his 22-month-old son Cooper, who died after being left inside his father's hot SUV for more than 7 hours while he was sexting with other women. The prosecution argued that Harris intentionally killed his son because he wanted to live a child-free life. His ex-wife, Cooper's mother, testified she believes it was an accident.
Ross loved this little boy.
Yes, he did. Very much.
Harris's attorneys argued after he was seen here getting breakfast with Cooper at this restaurant, he simply forgot to drop the boy off at daycare on his way to work. The judge said she reflected on what Harris said after his arrest, that he had hoped to be an advocate so that people would never do this again to their children.
I would say, perhaps not in the way that you intended, but you in fact have accomplished that goal.
Harris's lawyers now plan to take his appeal to the Georgia Supreme Court. David.
Lindsay Davis, thank you. Next tonight, a terrifying moment. Authorities say a man with an AR-15 opening fire after police say he showed up at a family pizza joint after reading a fake news story around the election. Edgar Welch saying he was there to investigate a story from the internet that a child abuse ring was being operated there, but the story was completely untrue. Here's ABC senior justice correspondent Pierre Thomas.
Police descended on the family-friendly pizzeria after frantic calls about a man inside with an assault rifle.
One of the hosts runs up and is like, "Did you see that guy? You know, he had a big gun."
Authorities say the suspect, seen here in a Facebook posting, aimed the rifle at an employee, then fired a shot into the floor. After 45 minutes, 28-year-old Edgar Welch was talked out of the restaurant by police and arrested yesterday afternoon. Police say Welch drove 6 hours from Salisbury, North Carolina to self-investigate a conspiracy known online as Pizzagate. It's an utterly false story about child abuse here at this restaurant, linking the names of Hillary Clinton, her campaign manager John Podesta, and the owner. An egregious and deliberate lie. The owner says he and his employees have been besieged by death threats since the fake news story spread on social media before the election.
What happened today demonstrates that promoting false and reckless conspiracy theories do come with consequences.
One study found that during the election, fake news stories could outperform real ones, with millions reading them. David, authorities say the gunman surrendered after he realized no children were being harmed here. But the shooting incident shows how a fake news story can lead to a real life-threatening situation.
David?
Pierre Thomas with us again tonight. Next to the transition, President-elect Trump and some new contenders now for Secretary of State, the list growing. As Mr. Trump defends his call with Taiwan on Twitter and takes aim with a tweet once again at his portrayal on Saturday Night Live. ABC's Jonathan Karl at Trump Tower tonight.
Apparently, Mitt Romney didn't close the deal over that dinner with Donald Trump. The list of those auditioning for Secretary of State is growing, as many as 9 contenders now, including John Huntsman. He was President Obama's ambassador to China and even called on Trump to drop out of the presidential race after that Access Hollywood tape came out.
Hello, how are you?
Now he's praising Trump and defending that controversial call with Taiwan.
President Trump is going to enter the scene really understanding that you need leverage and a sense of power in the relationship with China.
Already, Trump has caused quite a stir on the world stage, ruffling China's feathers by talking to the president of Taiwan, something no U.S. president has done in more than 4 decades. And Trump has held many other calls with foreign leaders, but none of them with State Department experts who could brief him on sensitive diplomacy. The current Secretary of State all but begging Trump to hear them out.
I would certainly recommend it, but obviously that hasn't happened in a few cases.
Trump is now defending his call with Taiwan, tweeting, "Did China ask us if it was okay to devalue their currency, making it hard for our companies to compete? I don't think so." But that's not all he's tweeting about. The president-elect couldn't resist hitting SNL.
I just retweeted the best tweet.
Trump's response? Just tried watching Saturday Night Live. Unwatchable. Totally biased. Not funny. And the Baldwin impersonation just can't get any worse. Sad. All this after the president-elect told 60 Minutes he planned to tweet less.
I'm going to do very restrained if I use it at all. I'm going to do very restrained.
Let's get right to John Karl live at Trump Tower. And John, the president-elect also today had a meeting with Al Gore.
Yeah, who would have thought? Al Gore at Trump Tower. Gore came out of the meeting saying it was an extremely interesting conversation and a sincere search for common ground. The president-elect also named Ben Carson as his Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, or nominated him for that role. This is the first one of Trump's rivals to be nominated, and also the first African-American that would be in his cabinet.
Jonathan Karl live at Trump Tower for us tonight. John, thank you. We move next this evening to the extreme weather at this hour, a tornado watch as we're on the air, and more flash flooding as much of the rest of the country now braces for an Arctic plunge. Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z. She's live with us tonight. Ginger?
And David, let's go straight to that threat tonight, that tornado watch that's on the map. Alabama, parts of Georgia, and the panhandle of Florida, they're all seeing tornado action, or at least the threat of. And as the storm moves, a low warm front will actually bring very beneficial rains to the drought areas, the areas that have had those wildfires. That's getting better, but as it moves into the cold air, some slick roads for Pennsylvania by tomorrow night, and western New York as well. A quick look at that cold shot of air and the blizzard warnings that come with it. David will be talking about single digits for places like Chicago, teens down into Texas.
All right, Ginger Z tracking this all week long. Ginger, thank you. In the meantime, overseas tonight in that urgent headline, the UN calling for a ceasefire in Aleppo in Syria. Russia and China defeating it. So tonight, as Syrian government forces now move forward, our team inside Aleppo and what they've witnessed already. ABC's Alex Marquardt is there.
Tonight, no break in the fighting gripping besieged eastern Aleppo. Russia and China today blocking a UN resolution calling for a week-long ceasefire. Syrian forces, backed by Russia and Iran, have already taken back 2/3 of the rebel-controlled area in the past 3 weeks. And today, we made our way into Syria's largest city.
This is what greets you as soon as you enter Aleppo, this scene of incredible devastation. Plumes of thick smoke and the sound of heavy fighting. You can hear that small arms fire, the loud booms. This is just a few hundred yards away.
Drone footage reveals just what's become of Aleppo, now the epicenter of the Syrian crisis. Images like this one drawing global attention. 5-year-old Omran Daknish, dazed moments after his home was bombed. 30,000 have now fled the area where the rebels are staging their last stand, gathering in refugee centers, hands reaching out for food. But tens of thousands of civilians remain in the heart of the fiercest fighting.
And tonight you can hear the relentless sounds of this battle raging not too far away. David, this war has been going on for almost 6 years, and this fight here in Aleppo could seal an eventual victory for the Assad regime. David?
Alex Marquardt and our team there in Aleppo. Alex, thanks. There is still much more ahead on World News Tonight this Monday. The deadly sinkhole. Look at this. 2 cars completely swallowed. One driver is killed, what authorities are saying caused this collapse. The NFL star killed in a road rage dispute. The shooter freed for now. And tonight, new surveillance that's just been released. And the Made in America Christmas is back tonight. And again this year, we're asking for your one thing, and already one viewer's idea coming to life right here tonight. Is it sitting in your living room right now? We'll be right back.
Over the years, we've seen a lot of change.
We actually use change.
Luckily, there are some things we can still afford.
Like Consumer Cellular.
Our average customers get everything they need for about $25 a month, and plans start at only $10 a month with